Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're taking a look at from the Studio Series Gamer Edition subline of the subline. This is Voyager class Ironhide. Ironhide is a repaint retool of the previously released Gamer Edition Ratchet, which we took a look at sometime last year. Now, I got this figure off of Amazon. I believe they're Studio Series figures. Uh, with the exception of the Constructicons, we're shipping, so you can get Transformers 1B, Ironhide, Q, maybe Jazz, or the Studio Series 86 line is like going to be separate, but I know those three were shipping out, and I got mine from there eventually. There's a story there. Now, we're starting out in a pose like this because I want to start off with something I'm not sure if I mentioned in the review of Ratchet, and that's the fact is the way these figures are sculpted. If you try to have them stand in a neutral pose, they just don't look right. So you're always going to want to try to do an action pose such as this. Now, with that being said, before I bring in Ratchet for the comparison, let's go ahead and try to get Ironhide back into a neutral pose. Basically, just bring the feet up like this. I'm going to snap the ankles into place, which is something you would have to do for the transformation. Also, as you'll see with Ratchet, I'm not 100% sure if there's something going on with Ironhide's head, because it seems to sit a little low in the chest. I mean, I tried to push it up, but it seemed like I was bending plastic then moving a hinge. So just let's remove the axe. Just like on the original Ratchet toy, it's two pieces. Do that, do that. Just take the gun arm off, and again, like Ratchet, very nice that here in the back, you can actually store the spare arm out of the way. So that's, again, really cool, something I enjoy. So just like that, we can just do it up like that. Close this back panel back up. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then, of course, everything stores on the figure just like it did originally with Ratchet. So there we go. And just, of course, knock the gun off. It goes in the poopy butthole. So we got Ironhide there. Let's bring Ratchet in. And as you can see, the heads are obviously different. The chest plates here are different. The shoulder pads are different. Everything else, in terms of, let me just move these out of the way. The arms, the same, because it's all for the same transformation, just molded in different colors. Obviously, from the waist down, it's all the same. Now, coming around the back here to take a look at the weapons, the axe, well, as you can, and like I said here, take a look. It kind of looks like they're leaning back a little. It's just weird. But obviously, the axe, the shafts are in different colors. On Ironhide, the orange is a little redder, so there's that. And I want to say, yeah, no, the main part here is the same color, but taking a look at their weapons, obviously those are different. Ironhide comes with a traditional blaster. Ratchet here has this medical, I think, scanning healing device type of deal. So there's that. But again, and these little back, the shoulder pieces here are a little bit different because you have that opening because it has to fit the new detailing to the uh, chest piece there. But other than that, it's, again, because they turn into the same general vehicle, so, the legs and stuff kind of have to be the same. The arms have to be the same for the weapon gimmick and things of that nature. So it's a Cybertronian vehicle, so it's not going to get too crazy or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice little comparison. So there's that. Go ahead and take Ratchet out. Now, for the transformation, I do believe last time I did vehicle to robot, so this time we'll do robot to vehicle. So what you want to do, remove the weapons, make sure you have the arm attached. Transformation, it's actually not per se. It's just a little involved. If you remember the Bumblebee movie deluxe Ironhide and Ratchet, those, I mean, you had a whole thing where you rotated the torso, the top 180 degrees. You don't have that, but you do have the double rotation at the hip, at the waist, and then at the thighs. So this, oh, and very quickly, I want to mention, bringing Ratchet back, the packaging for Ratchet. Yes, it was an open window, and it had the double tray where you had the backdrop. Backdrops have been removed for 2025. There was a slot in the tray that allowed the backpack here to come through and sit in place, so you didn't have it open. Although the instructions showed you, if you're removing the figure from the packaging, to close the flaps up. Ironhide's tray, which again is a single tray, does not have that um, space in the back. So his uh, the backpack here is actually splayed open, which kind of makes me wonder if they had Ironhide in mind at the beginning, designed the instructions, and that knowing they were going to change the packaging, designed the instructions for Ironhide and just swap the CAD designs. So there's that. But anyway, speaking of the backpack, come around here, bring it open, flip out these panels. This is how it'll come in the packaging. So just so you know. Once that is done, come up to the shoulder pads here. And what you want to do, and the instructions make this a little more complicated, is rotate them up on that hinge and then rotate them around on the ball joint so that they come together like so, forming that little cup area. Next, what you want to do is detach the section here from the waist piece. Bring the chest forward. As you're doing that, press the head down. It's not going to go down all the way, and this is why I would say, like, I'm not sure if there's something going on with mine, but it stays out of the way. It transforms fine. So once you have that done, bring this panel up, and you're then going to fold that hinge all the way around so that the waist will sit in that little cradle section formed by the shoulder pads. Nothing tabs into place. The instructions kind of make you think it does, but it's just going to be like that. Okay, now we're going to come to the arms, and what you want to do here is bring the arms out to the side, bend them down. There's a transformation joint here that will right above, I should say, the bicep and elbow before you get to the shoulder armpit joint, and then rotate so that the slot is facing towards the chest, and you're going to bend it up and then bend backwards on that joint so that the slot there's a tab right there that'll tab into place. So you're basically tabbing the arms in right there. And then what you're going to do is bring the arms down further on that hinge joint there, rotating them so that the wheels face outward. And then there's a slot on the forearm that's going to tab in on the side there, and you have that all done. The instructions make it look a little more complicated than it is, but it's not. So then what you can do is come around the top here and basically bring the front down and start tabbing it into place. There's a tab here on this section. There's a tab in the back of the forearms. And then there's the main tab is right here on the front of the chest. So just get everything down. Looks good. Yep, looks good. Oh, that went in fairly easy. So you have the front of the vehicle basically done. Now we're going to come around to the legs. What you want to do is bring the figure around so that the front is facing away from you like this. Rotate the waist so the legs are facing upward. And then rotate at the knee joint so now you're having the back of the legs facing upward. Turn the figure over. Open up the thigh pads just like so. And then you're going to double hinge right there, the little internal package right here out. and then you're going to fold up this panel right here. It's like a little bit of a wheel well, and that's going to tab into place on the leg. Do that again here on this side. Again, double hinge. Make sure you get that double hinge, and then tab that in. And then what you want to do is bend the knee out, the leg outward at the knee joint. Again, like the arms is a transformation joint. And this is where things start getting a little finicky and fidgety. So I would do this one at a time, but you want to bend them around so it kind of fits into place. And what's going to happen is you see how that fits around the groove. And the first step is you want to have the back panels here tab together, and try not to, and then also here at the bottom, right there where would be the bumper, so have them come together like that, and then tab the top panels. Oh, this actually went together a lot easier than it usually does. Usually those panels there will kind of fall in, so you're gonna have to play, would have to play with it a little. So just like that, come back underneath, push the toes up so they sit flush on the side there, and then fold these thigh panels down, and they're going to tab into place on the side there, and then bring this panel forward on a double hinge, and this will tab into place right here on the top. And at this point, you might have to do a little bit of the old Transformers squeeze just to get some of these little sections to line up. And don't worry, it will come together. There you go. There we go. Oh, oh, oh. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's again, you remember you're dealing with a Cybertronian vehicle, so there is going to be some natural gappage. But for the most part, there you go. There's the vehicle mode. Just making sure everything's tabbed together. And it comes up very nicely. I mean, to bring Ratchet back in, going from the rear, it's almost, it folds in half completely. So you do get a very compact vehicle mode. Now for weapon storage, here on the back, there are two slots, and there's two tabs on the gun. I do have a little bit of an issue, again, not this time, but where the holes would push back and that the gun would not tab in properly. And then here on top, you're going to want to just, there's three tabs and three slots here on the axe. So just, if I can get it, oh no, it's going this way. Just like that. So you have all the weapons and everything stored in the vehicle mode. Like I said, it's a nice transformation. If you do it a couple times, it really does become second nature. Again, remember that there is a little bit, because again, in the Cybertronian mode, there is like a little bit of the natural gappage here on the side. Even though this hand seems to be pushing back a little, it's like, there we go. I think I got it. But that's how it is. And again, when dealing with thin plastic, as some of these panels are, you might have some warpage and stress marks. But that's about it. So how about we pause and we come back for my final thoughts. Like Ratchet, I think Ironhide is a great figure. I enjoy transforming it, and I think that's where most of the pleasure is. Posing the actual figure, like I said, if it's you're going for those dynamic poses, it'll be fine. But anything more neutral or reserved, the figure just might look off. That's just how it is. That might be a turnoff for some of you, but that's how these figures look, and it's true to the in-game design. Now, can I recommend one over the other? I can tell you that there are some joints on Ironhide that feel a little bit tighter than my Ratchet, but that's just mine. Your Ratchet could be 100% perfect and feels good all around. In terms of the weapons, really the only difference is the arm guns, and I kind of dig Ironhide's. Actually, I think I kind of enjoy Ratchet's a little bit more, as it's a little more understated. I think with Ironhide, I would have preferred if they skipped the axe and given us like another blaster or something, just so we could have like, Ironhide using his chemical compounds and what have you. I haven't seen Ratchet on sale anywhere, so I can't say like if price, go for one. But keep in mind, outside of the blasters and the remolding that I pointed out towards the beginning of the review, these are inherently the same figure. So at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what design do you like better? And that really pertains to the robot mode, as the vehicle modes are fairly the same. If you're a fan of War for Cybertron, then obviously you're gonna you're gonna want all the figures. But if not, and you already have Ratchet, maybe that might be good enough for you. I know that's not a straight answer, but sometimes with figures with these repaints, you really can't give a straight answer. But that's about it for the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate the views. The likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through the algorithm that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/ChuckDog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, and I especially know in times like this, it is a little bit on the hard side to support creators and outside interests when you're having to worry about the price of eggs. So with that being said, if you can't afford the $1 a month or $12 a year, don't worry, your views are thanks enough. As I do mention quite often, with these new early reviewers and websites considering news cycles done months before a figure hits shelves, let alone saturation, it's crucial that smaller YouTube channels that can't, like mine, who really can't afford or really just don't want to pay these overseas prices to get a figure early with no instructions, possibly incomplete accessories, just for those numbers, is crucial that you support them. And I do thank you for that. But that's about it. Once again, this is your old pal Chuck for War for Cybertron Ironhide. We will see you next time.